My pottery tip of the week is all about how to tap center, because tapping is unquestionably a huge time saver. And yes, it's hard to learn, but here are my top 3 tips to master it. First, start with a fired piece and practice every time before you throw. Forget about all the counting nonsense. Tapping is about hand-eye coordination, and that just takes time to learn. Which brings me to tip 2. Position, focus, and touch. These 3 matter more than anything. I like to tap with my hand at a perfect 90-degree angle, at a slow wheel speed. I focus on the 3 o'clock position, and the moment the pot hits that point, I tap it with a straight arm. If you keep your position consistent, all that's left to learn is the timing and touch, which is the last point. Most people tap way too hard. You're not forcing the pot, you're nudging it. It's a quick, soft push in the right direction. And if you feel the pot sliding too far, you can add downward pressure with your other hand. And finally, commit to the process. Tap centering is a skill, but once it clicks, it'll save you tons of time. Hope that helps.